สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome back to Ed Burnside here on GBN Station. You're now with me, Kankan Ushitpan, reporting to you all the latest news on Buddhism from around the world. Let's start with the ancient Buddha statue, which has been unearthed in Egypt, followed by the interfaith study event on the theme of religion of love, the Buddhist scriptures in South Korea, the scientific research on the benefits of observing the 5 precepts, and lastly, we will be taking a look at the Taoyuan and Shaoyuan pagodas in China. A Polish-U.S. mission discovered a statue dating back to the Roman era while digging at the ancient temple in Bernice. The find has important indications over the presence of trade ties between Egypt and India during the Roman era, the head of Egypt's Supreme Antiquities Council said. The statue, with part of its right side and its right leg missing, measures 71 centimeters in height and portrays the Buddha with a halo around his head and lotus flower by his side. He said Bernice was one of the largest seaports in Roman-era Egypt and was often the destination for ships from India laden with spice, semi-precious stones, textiles, and ivory. Egypt has unveiled many major archaeological discoveries in recent years amid attempts to revive its vital tourism industry after years of political unrest and the COVID pandemic. Coinciding with the Vesak Week festival celebrating the birth, awakening, and Mahaparinirvana of Shakyamuni Buddha, the Young Buddhist Association of Indonesia held an interfaith study event on the theme Religion of Love from the perspectives of Buddhism and Islam. The event, held on 6 May, centered on 2 speakers representing the Buddhist and Islamic communities of Indonesia, Bhante Jayamero Thera, who leads the Sangha Theravada Indonesia in East Java Province, and the Guardian Council of the Young Buddhist Association of Indonesia, and Muhammad Nur Jabir, director of the Jakarta-based Rumi Institute. The Young Buddhist Association, or YBA, is the leading Buddhist youth organization in Indonesia. Through a deeply held conviction in the Buddha's message of compassion, growth, and liberation, the association promotes a positive lifestyle among the young in order to cultivate a society founded on wisdom, compassion, and gratitude. The association is involved in establishing Buddhist organizations nationwide, propagating the study of the Dhamma among young people, and providing leadership training. The Rumi Institute is an educational and cultural institution inspired by the poetry and philosophy of the 13th century Persian mystic Jalaluddin Rumi. The institute aims to promote cross-cultural understanding, spiritual growth, and personal development through a variety of programs and activities. The deputy chair of the YBA, Limanyano Tanto, observed that it was vitally important to ensure that young Indonesians of all religions were exposed to this kind of dialogue and meeting of minds and this sharing of hospitality, so that they could come to understand the teachings of each other's religion. The ultimate goal, he said, was to cultivate moderation and tolerance between religious communities. The Cultural Heritage Administration, or CHA, reported that a Goryeo-era transcribed manuscript of a Buddhist scripture known as Lotus Sutra is recently returned to South Korea from Japan. The manuscript is Volume 6 of the Lotus Sutra. The retrieved manuscript is also carefully hand-copied on indigo paper using gold and silver paints, probably by a renowned monk with excellent skills, according to Bae Young-il, director of the Songbo Museum in Magok Temple in South Chongchong. It is made in the form of a folding screen. When unfolded, it measures about 10 meters long. According to the CHA, its existence became known a year ago in June 2022 when its previous owner expressed an intention to sell it to the Overseas Korean Cultural Heritage Foundation. According to Bae, The Lotus Sutra centers on the fundamental principle that all beings have the potential to become Buddhas. The sixth volume especially emphasizes the significance of transmissions of the Lotus Sutra and the practice of making offerings. Choi said that Buddha Sutras have somewhat been neglected compared to other Buddhist relics, and that this could be an opportunity to shed light on the beauty of Goryeo Sutras. Stressing that there are about 60 more Buddhist sutras outside the country, Choi said that the CHA and the Overseas Korean Cultural Heritage Foundation will continue to make efforts to retrieve cultural heritages through active administration and expansion of overseas network and cooperation. According to a study recently published in the journal PLOS ONE, individuals with high levels of neuroticism and stress may be more susceptible to depressive symptoms. However, the research suggests that following the 5 precepts of Buddhism may mitigate this risk. The study was conducted by Nahathai Wongpakaran and colleagues at Chiang Mai University in Thailand. Previous studies have shown that adhering to the 5 precepts of Buddhism, which include not killing, stealing, committing sexual misconduct, telling lies, or using intoxicants, can improve the well-being and quality of life for both serious and non-serious followers. However, it wasn't clear until now if these precepts could also alleviate depressive symptoms for those at the higher risk. To address these questions, Wongpakaran and colleagues focus on known links between neuroticism, stress, and depression. Prior research has shown that the greater neuroticism is associated with a greater risk of depression, both directly as well as indirectly through perceived stress, how people think and feel after stressful life events. From late 2019 through September 2022, the researchers conducted an online survey of 644 adults in Thailand. The survey included standard questionnaires to measure each participant's levels of perceived stress, neuroticisms, and depressive symptoms, as well as their observance of the 5 precepts of Buddhism. The analysis of the survey results shown that observing the 5 precepts to a high degree appeared to buffer the influence of perceived stress on depression. These results suggest that people with high levels of neuroticism and stress may be likely to develop depressive symptoms if they follow the 5 precepts closely. The researchers note that while the study suggests that potential benefits of the 5 precepts in the context of depressions, it doesn't confirm a cause-effect relationship. A large proportion of participants were female and people who lived alone, and participants' religious involvement was unknown, although 93.3% reported that they were Buddhist. More research will be needed to determine whether these findings might extend to the general population of Thailand and beyond, as well as to non-Buddhists. The author said that the 5 precepts practice makes other people feel safe, as all these behaviors are harmless, and it potentially provides a stressful practitioner with a buffer against depression. Tayan and Xiaoyan pagodas in Xi'an are still well preserved from the Tang dynasty. They are not only famous at home, but have high reputation in the world as well. Tayan Pagoda was first constructed in the 3rd-year regime period of Gaozhong of Tang dynasty. Mounting on Xi'an Hill, it is also called Xi'an Pagoda. Xi'an Temple was built by Prince Li Tu in memory of his mother Princess Wen-te in the 22nd of Zhengguan region of Tang dynasty. Primarily, only 5 forts were erected and reconstructed in regime of Wu Zetian period. Then by recovery and reconstruction several times, the pagoda possesses 7 floors with total of 64 meters high at square and taper in size. Along 2 sides of South Gate on the 1st floor of Tayan Pagoda, 2 steel bows with handwriting by famous calligrapher in Tang dynasty, the Sui Lian, flowers carved at the edge. The Xiaoyan Pagoda is located on the central axis of Jianfu Temple in Xi'an, northwest China, Shanxi, as a national scenic spot and UNESCO World Heritage. This Buddhist pagoda has survived since the Tang Dynasty. Made of brick and featuring 15 steps, it is considered a precious architectural relic. It was built shortly after Buddhism was introduced to China and integrated with the culture of the people of Han. And that's it for our news update this week. Right now, we will be reviewing the International Vesak Day event held at Wapatamaka, London. Let us rejoice in everyone's merit together.
สัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าคำสอนของพระองค์ทำให้โลกนี้สว่างไสวความทุกข์ของมนุษย์ก็หมดไปเพราะเข้าถึงธรรมกายกลางกายตนธรรมกายกลางกายตนธรรมกายกลางกายตนธรรมกายกลางกายตนสูตรตรัสรู้ปรินิพพานเป็นวันเพ็ญเดือนหกตรงกันเป็นวันมหัศจรรย์เรียกกันว่าวันวิสาขบูชาวันวิสาขบูชาวันวิสาขบูชาวันวิสาขบูชาวันนี้เวียนมาบรรจบเราจึงพร้อมใจกันมาระลึกถึงพระบรมศาสดาจุดประทีปโคมลอยสู่ฟากฟ้าเป็นพุทธบูชาเป็นพุทธบูชาเป็นพุทธบูชาผลบุญที่กระทำให้ชาวมงคลได้บรรลุธรรมพระสัมมามีความสุขสมหวังตลอดเวลาตราบจนกว่าบรรลุมรรคผลนิพพาน ระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าวันวิสาขบูชาวันวิสาขบูชาพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าวันวิสาขบูชา
And now it's time for us to say goodbye, and please make sure to check out all episodes of our At Bright Insight News program on our website worldwideweb.gbnus.com or on our Facebook page GBNUS. Thank you for joining us. อนุโมทนาบุญ สวัสดีค่ะ